And it's not just the minimum wage jobs which go to foreigners. I see a few too many coloured faces on our NHS, lecturing at our universities, shaping the very minds of our children. They're taken over by stealth, infiltrating our workforce at strategic points. Like the other day, a Chinese man asked me the way to the Houses of Parliament, and he was carrying a camera. Now I know, Chinese espionage is on the rise, so I said to myself, Alice, you may have something here. Maybe this tourist outfit is just a disguise, and actually he's a Chinese spy dressed as a tourist here to take photos of the Houses of Parliament and other strategic British buildings. I said, why do you want to know, chink? He said, I'm visiting your country and I want to see all the important buildings. I am a great fan of the British architecture. I said, I'll bet you are. Here, give me that. And I tried to wrestle the camera off of him. British citizens need to be protected from creeps like that. He said, why are you trying to steal my camera? I said, why are you trying to steal our state secrets? You're trying to copy our architecture. He said, no, I just admire your architecture. I said, police, someone call the police. This man is trying to steal British intellectual property. Anyway, long story short, the police got involved and, well, I have small assault and GBH charge on the record. I don't really understand why the police would side with a creep like that over an honest British citizen such as myself, but there you have it. So, long story short, I was inspired to petition the Houses of Parliament to close Britain's borders to all immigration, place quotas on foreign tourists, and inspect the paperwork of all foreign imports with veto power over those products which are already sold in Britain. Do we really need French cheese? You know, in Britain we make a pretty sound cheddar and a red Leicester, and all these fancy continental products are threatening honest British farmers. And do we really need microchips from Taiwan, or we can make them just as well here, if not better, if we freed up funding from, you know, the EU and that. Yeah. British engineered microchips would be the same, if not better. British engineering is the envy of the empire. Sorry, the Commonwealth. I mean, the rest of the developed world. I mean, I suppose theoretically you could always self-isolate from the undesirable people in society, you know. Myself, I'm thoroughly enjoying self-isolation. I've self-isolated from all my work colleagues that voted Labour. Weirdy, beardy, Guardian reading, tofu munching Jeremy Corbyn, you know. Self-isolating from my boyfriend. He's actually also self-isolating from me, so it's kind of mutually amicable. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a great policy, but economically, you know, you got to think bigger, really. Doesn't make a lot of economic sense as a long-term policy, the self-isolation thing. Speaking of monetary policy, has no one else actually managed, the thought of pointing out yet, Jeremy Corbyn's whole like printing money thing. Basically, what he did was he lifted like a financial planning tenet of like Margaret Thatcher's in the 80s, you know? Like, it's basically monetarism by another name. You know, it gets some new ideas, Labour. Quit recycling, you know, the Conservative policy. It is essentially an 80s Tory monetary policy repackaged by another name, you know? Printing money, monetarism. Not your idea, Corbyn.